On the right, under the trees, the statue of Georges Clemenceau, politician who was a great soldier, who is one of the great soldiers of the World War I, and his nickname was the Tiger. Built in the early 18th century for a nobleman called the Count of Évreux, Count of Normandy, and later Madame de Pompadour, the mistress of the King Louis XV, lived here. Then sister of Napoleon, Pauline, she lived here as well. And this is the very shops. We have also on the right side this beautiful building, the first one. This is the residence of the American ambassador. Then we have the Embassy of Great Britain. And then at the street you will see also the Japanese embassy. In this street you have many high fashion designers shops. Garo, Chloé, Yves Saint Laurent. Famous shoes, Fratelli Rossetti, Italian shoes. Okay, so here's the Central Park, which is around that set of little white steps over there. That is what used to be the hunting lodge of Louis XIII. So his style of construction was red brick, white stone, and black slate. I don't know if you saw the Place des Vosges yesterday on the panoramic tour. It's a big square with only that style of building all the way around. It's one of the royal squares. It was next to the Bastille. Did you go that way on your tour? No, that's one of the places you can go to apartments. And then it was built around. So he built around this courtyard with this style of buildings overlooking the other side where the gardens are. He kept this antique-like apartment also because it was facing towards the east. He wanted his bedroom to be exactly in the middle there, facing the rising sun, and you see that the avenues here branch off in a very symmetrical, very beautiful way. So the big central avenue called the Avenue of Paris, which leads towards Paris. The one on the left-hand side, the Avenue of the Queen, the Avenue of the King. So you see that it branches off like sun's rays. You have an avenue here, an avenue here. So, and on the garden side, you'll see that we have perspectives which go out like sun's rays around the castle also. You see that we are sort of on top of a hill. It was actually very difficult for the architects to build the palace the size it is because it was very hilly and marshy around here. So before they built the palace around, they had to level the land, drain the land. It took 32,000 men, 5 years, with 6,000 horses to just level the land and drain it to be able to build the castle all around. It was just outrageous, yes. Just to prepare the land. So, on the right-hand side, you have what they call the queen stables, which is where they kept the carriages, where they kept the horses, pulled the carriages, etc. He decided that he wanted it to be as grand and as impressive as possible. He wanted everyone to know in Europe that he was the most powerful king. So he had 3 artists, an interior decorator, an architect, and a garden designer to make up Versailles, and he gave them total the whole of the ceiling and paint one big mythological scene, since they decide that the most grand, the most overwhelming architecture that ever existed before was the Greek and Roman architecture. So they decided to be influenced by that and to paint on the ceiling the stories of gods and goddesses. So they're also going to decide that one of the most noble materials that you can build with is marble. So that's why they're going to decorated ceiling, totally painted, which you have to imagine that during the Gothic times they used to paint the ceilings too in the cathedrals. That painting was all scraped away in the 16th century, but they start again painting them in the 17th century. You have in the center God the Father with a big white beard, on the far side Jesus Christ, the resurrecting Son, and on this balcony here, which is where the king used to sit with his wife, he would have on top of his head the white dove representing the Holy Spirit with sun's rays coming down upon his head as though he was influenced directly by God. So you have to imagine that Louis XIV had him out here every single day, and the noble people and at that time you also had a marble flooring like you have here, and the wooden floor which you have in the rest of the apartments, the state apartments, they're all put there at Louis XV's time because he thought that this marble floor would give too much of a cold atmosphere.
But this is original.
Yes, this is the original. But here was replaced in Louis XV's time.
Oh, okay, the word.
The garden, which was built around the original pumpkin. Then here we are in one of the long wings, which actually went through all the bedrooms. You had two big corridors. You see the entrance here. These two big corridors were made so that you would have corridors. Most discussion was everybody being dressed had their hair the way the king had. So you see that this gentleman here was actually a minister during the time of Louis XIV, and he had to wear a wig with curly long hair. This young man here is the son of Louis XIV, who actually was the second son, so less important than the first son. And when the King of Spain died, since Mary Theresa of Spain was the only, she was the wife of Louis XIV, she was the only living descendant of the royal family of Spain, was the second son, who was named King of Spain. And we still have descendants today, so that's we is the only one of the audience who was Louis Philippe. So you have on the ceiling here Venus, the goddess of love, and also Venus is a planet. And on this whole wing here, which we have leading to the last room, which will be the throne room, decorated with Apollo, who is the god of the sun, you are going to have rooms which represent each of the different planets which in the solar system get closer and closer to the sun. So you have a double meaning in all of this decoration. Not only the fact they put gods and goddesses up there because it was fashionable in those days, but also representing planets which in the solar system go closer and closer to the sun. You have here also an example of a new type of decoration that they do, that they invent for Louis XIV, and that's these false perspective paintings. Okay, so it looks like you see the marble of the column, which is the same as the marble, the real marble of the frame, and that gives you the impression that, you know, you are looking outside. That's okay, along the way. On the far side here you have the illustration of this is a tapestry which shows you the King Louis XIV on the right hand side sitting on a chair, and on the left hand side while he was talking to the people. Then he would go into his public bedroom, and there he would have probably the wig maker, finish putting on his wig. And he would sit on the seat there, and he would talk to the 100 or so people which were invited to at the corner. This corner here of the building, here you see windows on both sides, and this is the beginning of the only area which could take the whole of the 1,000 court people in one time. This room here is called the drawing room of war because of the soldiers riding over a battlefield. If you want, I'll take a picture over in the other room in the Hall of Mirrors. It's like Louis XIV superstar doing all these great things, So you have to imagine that the ambassadors and foreign princes who came to visit were received over there and were, of course, overwhelmed with how much gold and broke down in 1965. They decided to change it and put an electric pump instead, and now it costs so much to keep it going that they only have the fountains on about every Sunday during the summertime and maybe once a month. And you have to pay normally not, but this is about the only one. But you see this up here, it's Louis XIV, as I was saying. Bottoms, which had been made, he asked all the shipyards who made the big ships for his navy to make a small model so he could play around on the Grand Canal with them. So he didn't mind being some of the... So we're going to try and make our way through to the back side of this whole wing here. So this was totally redecorated in 1786, so 3 years before the French Revolution.
Do you know Chuck Shanley? Chuck Shanley.
Hi. Oh, then you don't want me on it. I'm having a great time. What's Berlin? We drank beer. Lots of beer. Lots of beer.
Well, I'm from Minnesota. But let me tell you a little something about Penny from Iowa. She was checked for ID. They didn't think she was 21 the other day.
Well, I would believe that. That's a good story.
Wouldn't we kill for that, Darlene? Or I would. Maybe you are sick, but I would.
Those days are over for me forever.
I know, me too. But it's nice to dream about it.
Well, where's
Okay, Darlene, is that a thing?
Where's Fred, Diane?
I don't know, Darlene.
We're going to get Fred.
Oh, hello. We've had a lovely time.
Beautiful time. You look lovely. Thank you, so do you.
This is Sarah Conway.
And they smell beautiful.
Oh, it looks beautiful.
Flowers.
You're doing a great job. It's beautiful. And where's Earl?
Right
I
here.
got you, Earl. Nadine, I'm gonna get you. I got you. Come on, Nadine. Just turn around and say hello.
Start out at about. Hey, let's hear from Fred Luch, 32. Former Dr. Pepper bottle.
My name's Crawford Lindsay. I just signed up for 10 more years.
He went 10 years of trips as part of the package. I might bring my girlfriend or...
Here's to put me on the
Coming in for the kill. Senior, the whole trip.
I'm showing the airplane.
I want to know. Don't do it. Hi, Dawn. Jack, what time did you leave? Oh, wait. What time did you guys leave? Oh, you remember?
Yeah, it was spelled one.
Rudolph, look, yeah. No, you gotta come visit me before I do that.
All right. I'll find him.
Okay. Well, no, I gotta get my tour guide with me. Where is he? You know?
You were in charge. You know it.
You should see me on the metro today. I had my umbrella. I was up like this. I was the tour guide. The tour guide. But I want you to come to St. Louis and I'll show you St. Louis in a half a day. We'll go like that.
What did you all do today?
We went to the fashion show.
Fashion show.
Then we went to the park.
And then the park.
And then I bought a souvenir.
All right. Shopping. Right?
Souvenir. Your outfit is lovely.
Did you buy it? Beautiful. Beautiful.
No, this is a Chicago.
Did you already take it?
No. Hard Rock. What did you do? Oh, isn't that lovely?
These are talking pictures, really. Where is Ray? Uh-huh.
Had such a good time. Thank you, Dr. Pepper. Thank you, darling.
I was just telling, by the way, Lucy, I was telling Angie.
This is recorded for,
All right, well, you can, all right, good. That really, she's got to look at budgetary purposes, and she can't, that dinner, the difference.
This is the pre-party viewing of the room before all of the people come in. Looks lovely.
Oh, here I am.
Oh, she doesn't know you're taking her picture.
Parce qu'il s'aime à Paris. Au printemps, sur les toits, les girouettes tournées pour les coquettes, avec le premier vent qui passe indifférent, nonchalant. Calme le vent, quand il vient à Paris, n'a plus qu'un seul souci, c'est d'aller musarder dans tous les beaux quartiers de Paris. À Paris. Au 14 juillet, à la lune des lampions, on danse sans arrêt au son de l'accordéon dans les rues. Paris.